I found out I had a mustache in probably my 30s or 40s when one of the students said, kids are so honest. Little kid goes, Miss Wendy, you've got a mustache. And I'm like, oh, do I? I go, well, it happens. And then I immediately decided to do something, but I don't wax it. I just shave it. I shave my mustache every night in the shower. Beep, bop, boop, boop, boop.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back to
Grandma's Not Right.
Oh, that sucked. Let's
That's
try that
terrible.
again. Let's try that again. Ready?
Okay.
We'll harmonize it a little better.
Oh, sure.
You say it again.
Hi.
How are you gonna sing it?
I don't know, man. It's just trying to be funny.
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing a bit.
I didn't either.
Now put this in the commercial.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to Grandma's Not Right.
That wasn't that much better.
I know.
Hi.
Hi. You know.
I could say it's been one of those weeks, but it's one of those weeks every fucking week.
It is.
Getting this age.
Yeah. Well, and you're still working. I'm not. I mean, I kind of am.
Working stiff. But I'm very fortunate because I have 2 jobs that I absolutely love. And if you count the 2 bands I'm in, that's 2 more jobs. Mm-hmm. Sometimes jobs that I absolutely love. Yeah. And I get to take care of my granddaughter, my only grandchild right now. So I'm very fortunate. However, there are some things when you get this age that just are really hard to get past.
Yeah. Yeah, like this black hair that keeps growing out of this mole. And the one that grows down here, a big old black hair grows.
Hey man, well at least you know those are there.
And
because
then I got a white one that just keeps growing right here. And it's like that long one day. I'm like, what the hell? Yes.
Okay, wait. This is what's weird. That happened to me once, and I kid you not. It happened on my arm.
I've got one of those too.
No, but it happened years ago, and then I never found it again. And I'm thinking,
how long has it been growing?
Yeah, well, since birth. But I thought, was it? Now I'm like thinking, was it a white hair that was just stuck? But stuck on my arm, and I thought, because how would you grow it?
I knew that mine was a hair because when I had to pull it. So yeah.
Here, but at least you know it's there because my eyes have gotten so bad. And it's obviously when you get older, it's a slow process.
Yes.
And I'd say it was probably, it was a couple of years before the business got sold. And one of the coaches that was working there, I had like I don't know, it was a lip gloss. I go, oh man, I'm almost out of this lip gloss and I got to buy a new one. It was like a round one. So it was like, the tip of your finger. We had the label. And I said, man, I want to buy, but I can't see what kind it is. This is when I started. She picks it up and looks at it and told me, I go, what? There's no way you can read that. And it was just one of those wake up calls like, oh shit, I think I need some glasses. Mm-hmm. Cut to, I thought I was doing a pretty good job on my fucking eyebrows all this time. And I got a fucking close up mirror. And this is all happening around the same time. Oh my God. Like, and no one's going to tell you, like, oh my God, what's up with your eyebrows? And then I found out I had a mustache in probably my 30s or 40s when one of the students said, kids are so honest. Little kid goes, Miss Wendy, you've got a mustache. And I'm like, oh, do I? I go, well, it happens. And then I immediately decided to do something, but I don't wax it. I just shave it. I shave my mustache every night in the shower. Beep, bop, boop, boop, boop. And then I think once a week I shave the whole face, but I think I might have to be shaving the whole face.
I do shave my mustache.
Yeah,
though.
I don't
and
care.
My chin. And
I still cut my own eyebrows every day.
We had a relative that I could see black hairs like down here.
We had a teacher, remember, in junior high.
Yes. Oh,
we won't say it.
Wonderful woman.
She was a nice lady, but
thick-ass black hairs that were just growing underneath her.
I remember as a
chin.
kid. And now we're there.
Yep, we're there.
I remember we used to talk about this. I feel terrible saying this. But there was this gym coach that we used to see. We can't even say the name of the gym. No, I would never. But she looked a little frazzled, and we were I think you were in your 30s by that point. I was in my late 20s, and I'm all, dude, man, it's never going to be us. We're never going to look like that.
We'd take our kids to gymnastics meets, and we'd see all the other coaches.
Yeah, from all over. Yeah, there were young ones,
Southern
old
California.
ones.
All different shapes, sizes, and whatever. But this particular person, I don't know.
And it wasn't about her being old or overweight or anything. She just looked frazzled. She almost looked like Miss Frizzle. That's what I always think of, frazzled, frizzle.
It was like, and her personality was frazzled. So it was
like the kids just did it to her.
Yeah.
Like they just fucking run her over.
Right. And we would say, please don't let us get like that.
And there were some coaches that were out of shape, whatever. And you know what? Look, again, right now I could do a cartwheel, I could do a handstand, and there'll be people who I work with or whatever. They go, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're in such good shape." It's like, no. Okay, have you ever seen like NFL football players I'm sure they're in shape, but you see certain athletes and you assume they're in good shape. Mm-hmm. Like the fridge, remember back in the day in the 80s, the fridge from the bear, wasn't it the Bears?
The Bears, I think.
Yeah, it's like, and then, or even Michael Phelps, he's in good shape, but he eats terrible. Like if Michael Phelps continued eating all the stuff that he ate for the Olympics well into his 50s and 60s, that's not going to work anymore. So I guess that's my point, is that it's not about, oh, look at those disgusting people over there, we'll never be them. It's just when you're younger, you see that and you just never think you're going to get to that point. And now we laugh because in our later years of taking kids to competitions, we were the frazzled old ladies.
And I mean, I'm way more now than then, but I though think back on after I had my first two kids, mm-hmm. and I was working at the YMCA, teaching gymnastics, and you had just started working with us.
And we'll be showing pictures of
1986.
This. Yes, you'll be seeing a picture.
This was me.
Someday we'll do it live, but I'll let her work on that because I know how to do that shit. Yep.
And so in the 1980s, that's how we looked. And I was in the best shape of my life. I was in better shape than I was in high school, and this was after having my first two children. So I think back on that time, and I was weightlifting. I could bench my own weight plus probably another 10 pounds.
And I still, even in my prime, I couldn't bench as much as you could. And I was like, oh, I'm so strong.
I don't know, why it was so easy for me.
Well,
it's just a different distribution.
But you were also lifting. Like I was doing sports, but that wasn't our thing to lift. Like I did it as part of a regimen, but you were actually bodybuilding. You were lifting weights.
Well, I think too that
I worked hard to get to that point.
I had done a lot more gymnastics in my early years, although, I mean, you competed in those early years. But what I'm saying is I had just consistently been doing it because of the different things I was involved in, where you were playing basketball, running track, and all,
Yeah, weights and stuff was a part of it. But I'm just saying, I don't want you to think it's because you were automatically gifted with that genetics that you worked hard to get to that point. You see what I'm saying? You lifted weights to get to that point.
I did. And also just, I think, as a gymnastics coach for all the years, the kind of weight, let me tell you, the mats, the bars, the beams, all the stuff that you have to lift and move, not to mention the kids that you have to huft up on the bar, or you have to catch in midair.
Yeah.
And then the demonstrating, you have to demonstrate all these skills.
Yeah.
So you spend years and years and years building muscle that most people would never build in their lifetime because the skills are so specific. And gymnastics is an all-around body.
Yeah, it's like swimming. It's an all-over body.
Yeah, conditioning.
We'll talk about what it does to your body though after.
Yeah, well that's part of the part of the point of this podcast is why we hurt the way we do.
Yeah.
But
and what we did wrong and how you can save yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think I think that's probably one of the things that make me the most sad is just knowing how strong I was and how fearless I was.
Yeah.
Things like, we used to like to go hiking in Forest Falls. And I just remember that when I would go up there with my friends, I would spring like a deer, like a mountain goat, and do leaps because we were both dancers too.
Yeah.
So I'd do leaps, huge split leaps to rock, to rock, to rock, to rock, to rock, to rock, and not even have to really think. It would be look and go, look and go, look and go, because gymnastics is like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's quick reflex and very, very good rebounding skills and so on. And it was
jumping off logs and stuff, doing toe touches, little straddle jumps off of logs and rocks,
balancing, walk along a wall, no problem.
Walk on that log across the creek without fear. Even trying maybe a cartwheel on there or something. Hey, I dare you to do a cartwheel.
I mean, it was amazing when you think about how fearless we were.
I used to throw back tucks, or what you might want to people think are backflips, off of a tailgate of a truck. Or a park bench.
We would tumble on the street in every parade. Mm-hmm. We'd wear mittens because our hands would be cold and we didn't want them all dirty anyway.
And by the way, this wasn't just as a kid. We're talking about in
adults.
Our 20s.
We're talking about as adults.
I think the last time I did a rounded back handspring, I think was at the big gym. That was between 2001 and 2004. So I was 30-something, 33, 34.
Yeah. And the last one I did was probably around that time.
Well, I know you did a front handspring. We have it on film.
Yeah, I did.
It's on YouTube somewhere in 2008.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that was the last actual tumbling move that I probably really did.
I did a front tuck off at the end of a tumble track when last time I went to Fallbrook, and I had someone film it. That was 2015, 16.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still coaching, and that goes to kind of what I was going to say next, too, is that it's not amazing when you've done the same thing that you've done since so I started when I was 8. I'm 58. So I've been doing gymnastics for 50 years. I've always kept it up just enough to do like a cartwheel here and there. I could do a pullover on the bars. So there's things I can do. My body is saying maybe I shouldn't do them. I still could hurt myself. But when you don't do it, I didn't do that stuff, though, for about 5 years after the business got sold and then I started working again. There was a 5-year gap where I did some stuff with my granddaughter during COVID and everything. So I did acro with her. I did keep some of it up, but it's still not the same. And I got cocky and I did some shit and then hurt myself. So,
Well,
but it's not amazing.
40 to 50 years of the same activity. And then for me I suddenly went from that to doing nothing. The jobs I went into were all desk work.
Yeah.
Well,
you did desk work throughout your whole career, though, off and on. You a lot of times had jobs because the gym was not paying enough money.
Yeah.
So that you had to work jobs. So you were doing both. You were doing a desk job and the gym. So for a while there, you really were getting both. So you actually were in probably better shape when you did 2 jobs than when you went into the one executive type job.
Right.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But I mean, since I retired and have just been home with Jace, man, you go downhill very fast. I guess that's my point.
Yeah.
I think one of the things, if we can just right now, midway here in this video, tell you, if you're a young person, when they say try to stay active, let me tell you, it's true. I may not be. I'm somewhat overweight, but I'm definitely. I'm feeling the pain of the years of abuse to my body for sure, but I also am. I'm not active enough, so I'm out of breath when I go upstairs. I'm afraid to jump off of things. I'm dizzy a lot. I mean, there are so many things going on with me, and it's all because of lack of movement. And so
you're getting a treadmill soon, aren't you?
I have a treadmill that needs to be put together, sitting in my living room. I also have a stationary bike. The problem with the bike, though, is the seat hurts my butt bones.
I know. I
got to find a padded seat for my.
That bike right there.
Yeah.
That has the proverbial clothes on it, like everybody talks about, the cliche.
Yeah. Does it hurt your butt? Or
yeah,
your pelvic bones. A pelvic like the
Yeah,
bones
yeah,
under
yeah. The butt bones.
not the butt bones.
Not the coccyx.
The,
But yeah.
the
But the I've had that, and I'm just saying I don't use it. I've used it twice
yeah.
in the my daughter moved out 4 years ago and she left it there, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that bike, bitch.
Mine's
And I
not
never
that
did use it.
fancy.
Yeah,
But so yeah, I have solutions. I just haven't
right.
gotten to them.
Hey,
and
listen.
I'm determined to do that because I need to get back. And here's the thing. It's not so much wanting to be able to do a handstand again, you know. It's more I want the confidence that I had.
Yeah.
And the ability to be able to
Just even
walk up and
yeah.
down stairs or
See,
or,
but
you know.
and even though I'm doing okay, here's the other side of it, so you can understand. And again, I don't want to say this and make people feel like, oh, there's no hope for me if you can't do it. But again, she knows I walked a lot. I would walk 3 miles in 50 minutes down to one of the main roads and back from where I live. Now, if I did that, it'd take me at least an hour, more than an hour, because I've realized that trying to walk too fast and my strides were too long for my short legs, which that's a whole other story of why I do that, and it's ridiculous and it's stupid, but I might admit that later. We'll see. But I think that was part of the reason my hips were hurting, whatever. So I can't do that anymore. And to be honest, I want to stay close to a bathroom. So now when I walk to the nearest park. It's called Flag Hill. And you can zigzag around to go up and up to the next layer, walk to the top where the big giant flag is, and you can see the whole town and it's beautiful. And then you walk back. And there's a bathroom there. So if I need to use that bathroom. Or if I drive to the park, and then I could use the park bath. So it's funny how that changed. When I first moved into this neighborhood in 1998, mind you. Can you believe that?
Yikes.
Lived in the same neighborhood that long. I was jamming all the way around. And now I tried to do that. And then I got hurt. I hurt my hip for a while. And my daughter, who's a personal trainer, she actually is the one who pointed out. Because she was walking with me when she lived with me and it was COVID. We were walking. She said, why are you walking so fast? I said, because, man, that's almost jogging. She goes, you don't have to walk that fast. She goes, why are your steps so long? And I said, because a long time ago.
Oh, boy.
A long time ago, I don't know if I read this. It's just in my mind. That because people, I'm short, I was 5'3.5", now I'm 5'2 3/4", but because I have short legs or whatever, in my mind, like models do or whatever, if I took longer strides, somehow that would appear that my legs were longer. I kid you not. This is the stupid ADHD shit that goes in this crazy head. And my daughter looked at me. You should have seen the look on her face. She goes, what did you just say to me? And I go, I don't know, but I've just always done that. So I walk that way and it's hard to stop now. She goes, well, you got to stop that because you're throwing your hip out. And then when I went to physical therapy for was it for my back or my knee or whatever? And the young girl doing it, she goes, let me see you walk.
Oh, boy.
And I just walked. She goes, you might want to keep your hips still when you walk. That could be part of the problem. And it's like, now I'm thinking, do people think I'm trying to walk like all sexy or something else? Like I'm wiggling my hips? Like, no, I just want my legs to look longer. Fucking weirdos. God.
That reminded me of something just now.
So dumb.
One of the funniest stories, and the story I love so much,
God,
is her story about hurdles when she was running track in high school.
Hurdles.
When you were a gymnast and you were doing hurdles.
Oh my God.
Tell that story.
Oh, we'll put a picture up here.
Yes.
Right here, there'll be a picture. Me and my nemesis, my rival. We won't mention her name, but everybody who knows me knows. So when I started running track, this is in the 80s, and there was technique, but they try to teach you, but it wasn't as like, okay, I'll teach you the technique and then just go about your business. But you're supposed to be in like this and do the, like that over each hurdle.
And your legs are supposed to be in a hurdler.
Right, in a hurdler. Well, because of the gymnastics, I could not help myself. I went from running like this to, as soon as I went out, it turned into a leap with the elegant hand going out and the legs straight. And so my legs are like,
split.
well, I mean, you have to bend to go over the hurdle, but it was like that. And yeah, we have a picture of it. It's hilarious. But the funny thing was, on that note, I had short legs. And so by all accounts, usually the girls with short legs would do what's called a 5-step, and you'd alternate every other leg. So those of you who know track know. If you don't, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 right leg, 1, 2, 3, 4 left leg. Well, I wanted to be like everybody else, okay? So I'm going to dig deep and again do the long fucking strides to do the 3 steps so I could use my lead leg, which was my left leg, over every hurdle. The problem was, by doing that, it was slower. Like, I had the power to power through and stretch. So I did decent. I didn't wipe the floor with anybody, but the thing I loved the most is that there would be girls from another team that were super tall, and I may have gotten 3rd or 4th or whatever. They'd be breathing heavy going, how can you 3-step as short as you are? It was so good. I did good, though, on the 400 hurdles. In fact, this is a sad story, actually. I was sitting in the fucking stands at the Mission. It was called the Mission Conference. I think Riverside Community College and the Riverside. I think
I was at that one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So I think I ran a race. I don't know what race I was in. I didn't know that I did so well in the 300. I mean, they called it the 400 hurdles. High school was called the 330 at the time, 330 yards, whatever. So I look, my name's on the program, and someone goes, aren't you supposed to be down there? I didn't know I qualified because I just thought I was that shitty, but I guess I really was better than I thought I was at the 400 hurdles. But those hurdles, even though they were higher, those were the leaping hurdles, because I could run fast and just leap because I had the amplitude for the leap,
right.
And the speed, was decent, but I wasn't like the fastest runner. But the hurdles tripped up all the other girls because they didn't have that leap quality.
Right.
And I look back now and think, damn, man, I can't believe I sat there. And everybody's like, you're supposed to be in the race, and I missed the race. So I'll never know how I did in college.
What I went to.
I know.
I keep kicking the table, sorry.
And sorry, we got off on a tangent. This is about age and stuff, but we're living our glory days.
But glory days is part of that. Those stories are part of that because, it's. I used to be the fastest person. I mean, I was not only super strong, and I could beat a lot of guys arm wrestling.
The arm wrestling.
Well, when I say
days.
guys, I mean like my nephews or younger guys.
Or that guy that broke his arm.
I could. Yes.
Not on you though.
No. I'll tell you that story another time, or maybe in a minute.
Oh boy.
No, I could beat my brother. I could beat Alan and Dave. I could beat our brothers for the longest time until Alan hit, like, I want to say 14, 15, and then I couldn't beat him anymore. But but it's that strength, and then being fast.
Yeah,
I could outrun pretty much anybody.
You were in cross country and track, weren't you?
I did both. Yeah, not for very long though. Because I went into baton twirling. And then I was on the gymnastics team in high school, and then I ended up being one of the mascots. So,
T-birds.
But yeah, both of us. It's like very competitive, and actually not necessarily competitive. It wasn't about beating someone else. It was more about
personal best, personal records.
Yeah,
and for the team, though, we were very team
oriented.
players.
So
very much the team players.
It was good times, and we learned a lot of important things. But now,
to me, that kind of ties into there, because for me, I was on the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
I also, and you were in the band for a while. I did clarinet for elementary and junior high. I was in choir my whole school career. I loved choir. I was in basketball and track. Track is kind of like gymnastics, where it's an individual sport.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a team score, so they want you to win because that ups the team score, kind of like gymnastics. But basketball was such camaraderie and you're working together as a team, being in a band, being in choir, you're working, you have to blend together. You can't just be your own thing, you know? So I really liked that. What's funny is I had such a strong work ethic. We were just talking about this the other day, that when I went to visit my dad on spring break in Lake Havasu, I literally went to Lake Havasu High School back in the 80s, and I would pull out their hurdles and I would tell my dad, I got to go practice on spring break, you know. Same thing in the winter. I would go find a basketball hoop somewhere and I'd practice basketball on my vacations. I was sick with it. I practiced until my mom said, you cannot bounce the ball because the neighbors are going to get pissed off. It's after, 9 o'clock. And I'm like, you don't understand. I got to practice. So it's that kind of stuff. But why can't I have that? I think that's what's frustrating, is that I lost that. I was good, like my willpower and my determination for teaching kids to do it. Boy, I could tell kids, well, both of us tell kids how to, you want to get a 9 on the beam? Here's how you do it. Or, we are experts at that, let's say, but why couldn't I apply that in my own life?
Right.
Which some of those gymnastics coaches, now we know why. They had the same thing. Like, they were all great gymnasts back in the day. And then, or sports or whatever.
Life
happens.
Your habits catch up with you, or,
Yeah. And it's never too late, though.
No, I agree.
Because I did let it go. I've hurt myself. Every time I try to exercise, which, by the way, you got to pace yourself, because, if that lady kicks this high in the video, I'm going to kick that high in the video, even though I shouldn't. And then my ass hurts. And then I can't work out for a couple weeks.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you a piece of advice right now. Anybody that this can apply to. And anyway, I decided I literally would do a video for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I did that for like a whole month, 5 minutes. And then it's 10 minutes, and then it's 15, and then it's 20, and I built up. Now I'm doing an hour 3 times a week of cardio videos.
Wow.
But I haven't hurt myself, and I don't do it full out.
Great.
If they're doing like fucking, kick, I'm just going, little bit of a kick until I feel like I can do it. I didn't use weights. If they're using weights, I just use my arms. But now I've started I literally have 2-pound weights, and we're talking in 2017, I had 15 in each hand and was doing those, they call them Arnold's, where you'd go up and then here. And then I was working hard at 50 years old, and now I'm 58. And I'm like, it's not, like you said, it's not worth it anymore. We're getting old. I don't need to be the best. No. I need to be what's good for me.
Yeah, I just want to be healthy and feel good and feel confident.
And this is healthy right here.
I'll tell you, too, the confidence in feeling, even if you get out of your car in a parking lot at night to go into a store. In my younger years, I would carry my keys like this between my knuckles.
I will knock a fucker out.
I'd spread them out between my knuckles, and that's how I walked out. But I had no fear, because I knew how strong I was.
Oh, yeah. I see.
And I knew that I could surprise the shit out of somebody if they tried to do anything. And I had at least and then I could outrun them, so it was like, I felt good. Yeah. But now I feel like that vulnerable old lady, and there are things I'm afraid to do anymore because of that. I don't want to feel like that. Yeah. I want to feel good again about just being healthy.
Well, I'm getting there. We're 7 years apart, and that's almost a decade. That does make a difference in your physicalities. So I'm at that same point where I'm not as confident, and I do think about that. What would I do? I know that I would fight like the Dickens and would bite, kick, scratch, and do whatever.
Probably end up dead, because there's no way I would.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But, it's funny. I pinched a disc in my back last year. I work with special needs kids, and somebody I was changing had like full hip braces on, and I went to say, hey, can you scoot up the table? And I thought they were going to, and they didn't. And I disc bulged everywhere.
Bulged your disc. Yes. Wow.
It's terrible. Shut up, Wittershins.
Wittershins
judging me. No, but I thought I would stand on, again, we're gymnasts, and I can stand on one foot and raise up like a ballerina on my toe. I can do that. I can raise up on one toe. This leg I stood on, and after that I had numbness, pain, and everything, but I could literally not even move.
That's so weird.
It was so weird, and we won't go there about the people I dealt with workman's comp that didn't know why that was happening. But I decided, okay, no one's going to help me. I got to help myself. I did physical therapy, and the only thing the guy said was, well, you can just raise up on both toes to strengthen it.
Oh, okay.
That guy was good. The physical therapy guy was good. It was the PAs at the workman's comp.
They didn't understand.
I don't know that's happening.
Why
Wasn't
that
that
was
your
important
fucking
to
job
her?
to find out? But anyway, that's neither here nor there now. So now I can get up on my toe, but the whole thing I was going to tell you is, sorry, I got on the tangent. But I couldn't run. And for the first time, it's like, okay, I'm working with all these special needs kids who have no feeling in their legs or somewhat feeling. And I'm like, oh my God.
You could relate, huh?
Yeah, well, relate
Sort
is
of.
a relative term.
I know.
But it was that thing, that pain I understand. If I had pain in my leg and I couldn't run and there was pain, okay, I can't run because there's pain. Not being able to run, I always said it's like, I don't know, Cheryl didn't watch a lot of Friends. But if you're a Friends person, Phoebe runs all crazy in this Friends episode. She likes to run all free. And that's what I felt like. I felt like I could not run and felt like a weirdo, like my body's all going weird. I don't say weirdo, that's not what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I felt awkward. Well, just recently I started being able to. And the whole reason, again, that I went on this second tangent to bring up what we were just talking about, being fearful, being out in somewhere, is that I thought, if my granddaughter is 20 yards from me and someone tried to kidnap her, I couldn't run to go and catch her.
Yeah.
That's, or my dog, something happens to my dog or whatever, I can't run. And I know people say, well, so what? So people get old, you can't run anymore. I know that, but if you have the capability, and I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, you see there's people our age running fucking marathons or participating in track events, old geriatric track events or whatever, Olympics. I think that's why it's frustrating that if you see someone our age, now my daughter would tell me, and I'm sure your youngest daughter, who's a little bit more closer to the physical fitness coaching, would say, well, they didn't abuse their bodies like you guys did.
Yeah.
So of course you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be in more pain than other people. So.
And that's true. And our grandmother, our maternal grandmother, would watch the things that we were doing, because she'd come to every gym show. She was at the parades. She would watch us she watched us all those years that we
She even went to my garage band performances at pizza parlors.
But she kept telling us, you girls should not be moving that stuff because you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to regret that later in years, You're not built for that. And I go, Grandma, yes I am. Look at my muscles.
It's
I'm
the
built
80s
for
and
it.
the 90s, man. We're 90s women.
We can do anything. And I'll tell you what, there were times when we would go, we went and picked up, we bought some used equipment.
The parallel bars.
And we drove to this gym.
Oh my God.
And we had an old Dodge pickup. And
It was an 86 Dodge Ram.
An 86 Dodge Ram. And the two of us went to this gym to pick up these parallel bars that we had bought.
Old school parallel bars.
So we're talking, I don't know what they were made of, but it wasn't
the base was the metal kind.
It was thick metal. I'm not going to say it was iron. The pommel horse was iron.
I think it was a Nissan brand.
But it was heavy duty metal.
Yeah, it wasn't iron. It was more of like the 70s.
No, I know. It wasn't iron.
The Y was iron. No.
But yeah. Anyway.
That was a pommel horse.
But I can't tell you how much they weighed. I wouldn't even be able to guess right now. But I'm going to venture to guess they had to have been at least, I want to say 300 to 400 pounds.
I mean, I think they were more than that, to be
Maybe
honest,
more.
dude. That shit was so heavy.
Yeah, probably.
So you got the bar standards, you got the base, and then
all made of heavy duty steel.
And then you've got the bar rails themselves. And the girl helping us was some 20-something little girl.
Which she was really
Little
no
coach.
help. Wendy and I ended up pretty much just picking those bars up,
well,
the front end up, hefting them onto the tailgate, and then
Which
picking the
almost
back
snapped.
up. And it almost snapped the tailgate. That tells you how heavy they were, right? So we did things like that. Do you need to jump down?
Whoa, Wittershins! Sorry, the cat.
Do you need to jump down?
Wittershins cat, do not.
Do you
She's
need to
going to
get
rub
down?
on that note!
Do you need to get down?
Anyway, sorry, my cat interrupted.
So, I lost my train of thought.
So we got those
We got them
parallel
up
bars
there, and then
up.
we had to get them off the truck, and
God, and into the thing.
and that's just one story. I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of weight that we both have had
that we
to
had no business doing.
and but it was just the two of us
Yeah.
for the longest time. So we didn't have husbands that were
Well, I'm going to tell you
excited
what.
to help us at that time.
I
so.
think that's probably how I blew my bladder out, which,
yeah.
among other reasons,
I'm not
no.
laughing. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not ashamed to admit.
She calls it her O-ring, and I think that's hilarious.
I blew my O-ring.
O-ring.
But even when I was in high school, I think I had a problem because even in high school, I would have, stress incontinence. That's where you do a squirt when you do something hefty. So I always had that problem. Laughing, oops. I go up for a layup in basketball, oops. So as a kid, I didn't tell my mom that. I don't think it was like, hey, Mom, I got this problem. I just thought, I guess this is what happens. Sometimes you pee your pants. So cut to, man, when I was 39. And it got to where it was if I just yelled loudly across the gym, like, hey, like, oh,
or
man.
Sneezed.
Sneezing, yeah.
That's pretty common.
But it got to be just talking loudly, and I talk loud, obviously, and I would just go, hey, and then I go, son of a bitch, I just peed my pants again. And so by the time I went to the doctor, they're like, yeah, this was a problem. This is not natural. This is something you've had, which that would have been nice to know. But, I had repair, and it fixed it for a while, but for first 3 years, I didn't lift heavy stuff. And it wasn't just that. I'm going to be honest. I was not exercising like you should, okay? I was walking, but I wasn't doing what we now know for your pelvic floor, whether it's, whatever exercises you're doing for your pelvic floor. Right. The Kegels, I did those religiously for 3 years, the Kegels. But I didn't do that. And then I started lifting again. I didn't lift for years because I was so afraid of it going back.
Right.
Now it's kind of back. It's not as bad. I think it's where it naturally would have been
as an older
person that, I'm doing something and, it happens, sneezing and coughing and stuff. But the point is, if whatever they're telling you in physical therapy, whatever someone tells you to do for fitness that's a professional, not just somebody who told you something, make sure they have credentials. But I'm telling you, man, and make sure too that you're on your stuff, because I was doing personal training in 2017. I knew I was that we were going to sell the gym, and I wasn't going to be working anymore at the gym. I had to even that out, so I got a personal trainer and started getting in better shape. I kept telling her, man, I my heart still feels like I'm just not in shape enough. Like I feel like I'm doing cardio, blah, blah, blah. We'll find out a year later that I had left ventricle diastolic dysfunction. My heart wasn't pumping out all the way. I had high blood pressure, which I already knew that. That was a given. I'm sure I fibbed to that girl and said, no, I'm fine. Yeah, we're good to go. But the point is, man, don't mess around with that. Find out what you've got. When they say ask your doctor or consult your doctor before you start a regimen, even someone like me who thought, I've been exercising for years. I fucking know what I'm doing. Clearly I didn't. And I'm a professional. I coach other people. So just always check, man, and make sure that things. I'm constantly Googling, should someone with this do a headstand? And if the answer's no, then don't do the headstand or whatever. But,
Yeah, should someone with vertigo try a cartwheel? Probably not.
You're going to end up on your ass.
That's my issue, is vertigo constantly. And diabetes and high blood pressure.
My triglycerides are always dancing around the diabetes subject. So I'm really trying this winter break. I did okay. I could always do better, but I did pretty good this year. And then, high cholesterol I'm taking. I did not want to do statins. I'm not recommending anybody not take medicine or anything. For me, one gave me a cough and I have bronchitis. My lungs, I get chronic bronchitis. My lungs are really weak. So when I started having a cough, I go, oh no, we're not doing this.
Right.
And then the other ones I took made my femurs feel like they were on fire. Just my thighs felt like the bones were literally on fire all the time. And I said, nope. So my doctor recommended red yeast rice as a supplement. I've been trying it. I'll just say my cholesterol did not raise. It was the same. It didn't raise or get worse. I'm going to have labs again soon, so hopefully I can find out. But I'm trying to do better. I'm just, I don't eat fast food like I used to. I don't get the sweets like I used to. And we're talking dudes, seriously. I'd say to the kids at the gym, or the coaches, I'd say, hey, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get some water for the gym. And I'd be all stressed the fuck out. I'd go and get the water, but I'd buy at Staters or whatever, they'd have the buy 2 candy bars, get one free, and I literally would eat 3 fucking candy bars
On the way back
to the gym. And then coach, and then have the gassy shits the rest of the night. Right. But I would, because,
it's stress eating.
Total stress eating. Oh, yeah.
And
I'm not hungry. That's not what it's about.
Right. Yeah. Just the things that we put ourselves through.
Yeah.
And then as older adults, you pay for it. And when people say that, and you're like, whatever.
Man, I wish I would have listened.
All
the PSAs that we saw on TV and all the grown-ups that tried to tell us. And
just...
I don't know if you can hear that. That's the cat on the carpet.
The cat is scratching the carpet.
Was she just in her shit box? God damn it.
No, she was drinking water, I think.
Okay. By the way, that's right there. If you want to sleep on the couch, I understand. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't care. Yeah. So, yeah, getting old.
We joke and say getting old sucks, but you know what? The advantage is that you have the wisdom, and every year you learn something more and more. And knowing that it really is never too late, because if you give up,
there's not much alternative other than giving up. I think what's the funnest part is, because you become invisible, when somebody
we didn't really talk about
that's okay. When somebody wrongs you, you're just another old lady in the store, right?
Yeah. The invisible age we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
When somebody wrongs you and you speak up for yourself, or you come up with a really good comeback, it's like you're suddenly noticed, and it kind of catches people off guard. But I love the fact that people just assume things. They just assume I'm just a little old quiet lady. Little lady, And
I don't think I get those assumptions.
Well,
I have other assumptions I get from people.
That's another podcast.
It's for another day. But no, I get what you're saying.
What, though? I'll tell you what, old people are mean. I was in the store the other day with my son. We're shopping, and I realized that I needed something. I was on the right side of the aisle, and I had gotten something on that side, and I put it in my cart. And my son he always pushes the cart because that keeps his hands busy. So he's pushing the cart. So he's on, here's the wall of items, right?
Okay.
And so he's like pushing the cart. We stopped. I put the thing in the cart. And then I noticed across the aisle there was something else that I wanted to get.
Okay.
So I walk across the aisle. I'm looking and I'm reaching to grab, and I suddenly hear this bam. I turn around, and some old man had purposely rammed the end of my cart with his cart.
No.
And my son was just like, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Am I in your way?" And he goes, "Oh, people, I don't know. It was like a European accent that this guy had. I could hardly understand him, but it was something like, people just stop in the middle of the aisle. Why do people do that? What's wrong with you?" And I'm like,
oh, I'm so glad I wasn't there.
There
would have been a fight that day.
I said, you could have asked me. You could have said, "Excuse me," and asked me to move. He goes, "No, I don't have to do that." And he got around me, almost ran into me with his cart.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, if I were a different person.
The person I was years ago.
That would have been.
See, I am that person,
but I had my
though.
son with me too.
I know.
So I always
my
have to use good
God.
judgment when I've got my son with me. He was already upset about the whole thing anyway, because that was, he was standing there holding the cart, and the guy rammed the cart.
That's bullshit.
With his cart.
Man.
I was like, what
That's
the
bullshit.
heck? You old little man.
Oh, I've said it before. I've said, I wish I was there. My sister's like, No, I'm glad you weren't there. Yeah, and my daughter said that to me
I don't want
several
to be
times
that
too.
old and I don't want to be a Karen, so I have to.
Hey, watch it now. Sorry to all the Karens out there who are nice. Sorry.
I don't want my name to be Karen. I don't want to be someone that people look at and call that derogatory term.
Yes.
Anyway, so
the K word. Now we're going to start saying the K.
White as me,
the K word,
and you speak up for yourself. That's what you become, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's better to just stay invisible.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely do an episode on old ladies being invisible because I got a lot of comments on that.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
we've beat the old horse to death today.
Yeah, the old horse that physically is having issue. Our physical ailments.
Our gymnastics days, our athletic days, and our coaching have caught up with us.
Yeah,
catching kids that are coming out of the air.
It's kind of like it's the best of times. It's the worst of times.
It is. I wouldn't trade it for the
No,
world.
I wouldn't trade it
I'd do it all over again. But I just might be a little smarter.
I'd be a little smarter, keeping that pelvis tucked under like you're supposed to.
Right. Getting help to lift something instead of, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
Even when we were pregnant, very pregnant, we were doing things we shouldn't have been doing in that gym.
Yeah.
Lifting things.
I did stuff. I was still doing back handsprings when I was 4 or 5 months pregnant. I know. Dumb.
Yeah, I think what tipped you off in that first one, your first pregnancy, that maybe something was going on was when your cheer partner, the father of that child, your cheer partner, mentioned that you were putting on a few pounds.
Oh, well, I was never.
She was a cheerleader in college.
Yeah, I was never light enough. At 125 pounds, I still wasn't light enough for men to throw me. Get over yourselves.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's another story for another day.
Yes. And we must end it here because this could go on forever.
That's right. So thank you for stopping by to our lovely podcast.
And
Grandma's Not Right.
Grandma's Not Right.
Grandma's Not Right.